Guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Leo. I hope you've watched my other video. If you haven't, then you can take your time and go on my page and watch how to derive the quadratic formula, because that's where I talk about how to use completing the square method. So today I'm going to look at this question over here, and I'm going to solve it via completing the square. I'm going to do two questions. The first one is when the coefficient of x squared, so this one is when the coefficient of x squared is 1. You will find another situation whereby instead of having an equation like x squared minus 8x plus 15 is equals to 0, you might have something like, let's say, 3x squared minus 8x plus 15 is equals to 0. Now, if you check, you'll realize that on one hand, the coefficient here is 1. So I don't need to divide the equation. However, if I went with the second one, this one, I'll have to divide through by 3 as my first step. But I'll do an example like that in a short while. So here we don't need to divide anything through, because already the coefficient of x squared over here is 1. So what happens, you just jump to step 2. So step 2, straightforward, push that guy to that side so that you can collect the x terms together. So you're going to have x squared minus 8x is equals to minus 15. So far so good. Now the second thing you have to do is now introduce your perfect square. So introduce b all over 2a squared. Now here, because this equation is in the format of a quadratic equation, it treats ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. This is the form, and as such you can see that your a is equals to 1, you can see your b is equals to negative 8, and you can see your c is equals to positive 15. Now when you're picking these up, you have to be very careful, because you have to pick them up with their signs. Now, since I have my b and I have my a, I can simply put them into that equation. So this is going to become, my b is negative 8, so negative 8 all over 2, but a is 1. And most of the time a will be 1. So even when you have something there, because you will have simplified it by dividing it all the way. Sorry, that square is running away. So inside the bracket, I can say this is negative 4 what? Squared. Now this becomes your perfect square. Now this is what you're going to add on both sides. You just need to come back and take your equation, x squared minus 8x. Then you'll have to add that negative 4 squared. And here, as I mentioned, you're not supposed to open this up. If you open it up, you're going to be in trouble. Remember, you're bringing it in so that it can delete the guy at the center. So this becomes, on the other side, I have negative 15, which has to also be negative 4 squared added to it. Now, let's see what this does. Now, if you watched my first video, I told you, as long as you've been able to introduce the perfect square on both sides, then once this perfect square is introduced, that guy gets deleted. But on the other side, you're just good. So what do you do? What do you do on this side? You complement. What do you do on this side? You simplify. Now, complementing is the easiest one, because you just, once you are here, you just need to pick your x minus 4, and you can see that becomes squared. On the other side, you'll have to have 15 negative plus. Now if I square negative 4 squared, I'm going to get 16, because negative 4 times negative 4 will give me 16. Now, x minus 4 squared is equals to, now here if you take minus 15 plus 16, you will simply get positive 1, which I can simply write as 1, no problem. You'll simply get 1. Now notice at this at this juncture, sorry for that, notice at this juncture, we are at a position whereby now we only have a single x term remaining. So here we just need to solve now for x with normal arithmetic approaches. So here I'm going to have to find the square root on that side. I'm going to have to find the square root on that side. So that here I'll be left with x minus 4 is equals to plus or minus the square root of 1. We all know it's 1. So what does that mean therefore? X minus 4 is either plus or minus 1, meaning that if I take a scenario whereby I say x is equals to 4, it can be plus or minus 1. And therefore x is either 4 plus 1, which is 5, or x is either 4 minus 1, which is 3. Therefore, at that equation that we've been given, I'll need to pick it up again. X squared minus 8x plus 15. X squared minus 8x plus 15 is equals to 0. Then x is equals to 3 or 5. And both of them will be positive. Hence, solved. Now, if you practice, you're going to get better at this. So keep on practicing. I'm going to do another one whereby we have something in front of the coefficient of x squared. After this, if you want to have a more understanding of that, you can go look at it. If not, then all the best with this. Just need to be very careful to not make mistakes with your negatives and positives. I've also uploaded some of my worked out worksheets on the link. You'll find them linked over there. So please also go download, try practice. These are easy stuff. On the next video, I'll also try to teach you how to solve quadratics with other methods. Thank you. See you in the next video.